Hello and welcome to the Prevention Revolution channel on YouTube. I'm Desiree Jones. I'm a doctor of epidemiology. Epidemiology is a field to do with understanding disease causation and prevention. I'm sure most of you know someone who is dealing with heart disease, diabetes, cancer, or another chronic disease. Did you know that at the present time, 1 in 3 Americans is dealing with cardiovascular disease? Nearly 70 million Americans are clinically obese, not just overweight. Cancer will be the leading cause of death, surpassing heart disease for the first time this year in 2010. A recent study in the University of Chicago journal Diabetes Care mentioned that by the year 2034, nearly 44 million people will be diabetic. That is double the rate of diabetes we have presently. The interesting thing is that this problem is not just localized to the United States. If you look at countries that have relatively recently undergone Westernization, such as China and India, we find that these countries have suffered astronomical rates of heart disease, diabetes, and obesity in recent years. As an example, the World Health Organization recently estimated that 60% of the world's cardiac patients this year, in 2010, will be from the Indian subcontinent alone, giving India the dubious distinction of being the country with the highest rate of heart disease in the world. It is interesting to note, isn't it, that this was once a nation with some of the longest-lived people on the planet. That was also the case for China, Okinawa, and the list goes on and on. Moving on to another country, Australia, we find that this year, in 2010, 3/4 of the Australian population will be overweight. When we look at these massive numbers globally, we have to think, why are we so sick in America and the Western nations, in spite of the fact that we have access to the most advanced medical technology and resources? And I believe this is one of the pivotal questions of our time, a question that must be answered with an astute, brutally honest, and sharply incisive perspective. Given the magnitude of the chronic disease crisis that is upon us, I believe we are living in times in which the reactive approach of treating diseases after they occur is far less preferable relative to the proactive approach of preventing diseases from occurring in the first place to the extent it is possible to do so. This channel is all about bringing a body of life-saving research to all who can benefit from it, whether you are a lay individual or a CEO looking to cut productivity losses for your organization, or a physician. It is designed to help everyone learn how to prevent chronic diseases to the extent it is possible to do so. And I believe whether we are academics or physicians or individuals or CEOs, it is time for us to embrace a mindset and a culture of true prevention, which I believe is defined, or at least I define it, as prevention that begins long before the possibility of disease detection. Indeed, doing so and catching the spirit of this idea will involve a revolutionary change in terms of how we have historically approached chronic diseases. True prevention is a life-affirming idea. It is an idea that the world needs right now. Join us, get involved, spread the word.